to do this video on what is somatic trauma release, because I've had so many of you ask me to explain what the heck that is, what the heck I mean by it. I talk about it in some of my other videos, but I know, do you love my massage hair? This is I just try to different massage therapist hair. I'm shopping around for a new one, looking around for a new one. And being a bodywork practitioner myself, who specializes in somatic trauma release, which I promise I will leave a video for. I'm so picky, it's so hard to find somebody that, I haven't found anybody that matches up to me. I have found people that I like. And my clients tell me all the time, like, you realize how good you are, like, you are amazing, and you keep me going, and you help me figure out things that nobody else has, and you just always know what to work on. You always know what, to help me figure out what I need. I am really darn good. And because of that, it's difficult to find, and that's something that I have not given myself credit for sure. And especially with as much as like this place was charging that I went today, and I'm like, and that's just for like a 50-minute massage, not even with all the cool stuff that I do. And it was like $15 less than what I charge, which means I'm not charging enough. And that's where I'm going with this, with being an empath and not valuing our gifts enough. So I promise you I will still leave a video on what somatic trauma release is, so thank you for being patient. But this one just seemed to get more requests, so I'm going to do this one first, because so many of you are struggling with being in jobs that just feel like they're sucking the soul out of you. And that's not what work should be about. That's not what life should be about. Yes, we go through hard times. We do. We go through challenges. I think that's part of the joy of our human experience, is we do experience these challenges so that we can overcome them and level up. And I mean, come on, when you are experiencing a challenge and you overcome it and you're on the other side, you're like, oh my God, this is amazing, it feels so good. And then you can help others through a similar situation, and it's just such a good feeling. So not the little challenges, but those of you that are like, I'm miserable getting up every morning and going to work. I am barely making ends meet. I'm not making ends meet, especially with the huge inflation insane inflation in rent that we experienced. A lot of people had to get 2 or even 3 jobs, and that is just not what life is about. It's not living just to keep a roof over your head and food on the table. Life should be about living and enjoying life, and really, really just doing something that brings us so much joy. And for me, for sure, that is being a healer. I love helping people heal. I love getting my hands on people. I love doing body work. And that's the somatic trauma release video that I swear is coming. I promise. Sorry for those of you that I said I would do it. Just wait a little longer with me, okay? And backstory with it, with that video. It's just been something that has brought me so much joy. But as I'm getting, I don't know, older, further along, you know, died and came back, there's other things that bring me a lot of joy, and that's, you know, it's still, I love helping others. I do. It brings me so much joy to help people in their life, and it helps people to overcome situations that maybe are similar to what I've gone through, like with me having been married to a narcissist and experienced that, and then experienced another narcissist relationship. And it's so funny because, you know, the guy that I was kind of seeing before my ex-husband, just pretty decent dude. Like, I would go over to his apartment, I would study and, you know, be reading my notes, studying for a test, doing homework, whatever, and he'd be in the kitchen making us food and drinks. And then, you know, I'd take a break, we'd go down to the pool in his complex, and we would you know, hang out and drink and chat and chill and eat the yummy food that he made. Maybe we ate and then went down and you know, drank by the pool and got sunshine, and, you know, so then I ended up in this world. Anyways, I digress. As y'all know, I'm really good at. That's something that I guess should be an obvious ding ding ding, you get to help people through this, but it's not something that I like saw coming. So like 2011, I was in a car accident. I went through my own courses of treatment for that, and then, you know, when I was working then as a physical therapist, immediately that pain management specialist referred people to me. He loved me, adored me, knew how amazing I am at what I do, and that has always been one of my specialties, and that is something that I still do love, and it's just something that I like. I don't know, that's where the somatic trauma release stuff came in, and I didn't know what I was doing, right? But I was doing it the whole time. So anyways, I have been so lucky then, like, opening my own clinic, being presented, like, things that just kind of fell in my lap that I did have to ask for help for, asking for a loan for my parents, things like then, you know, leaving a job where I worked for somebody and had a guaranteed salary to all of a sudden working for myself. But when the opportunity was presented to me, it was something I knew I always wanted. I knew I always wanted to work for myself. I always wanted to own my own PT clinic, and bam, you know, I opened in October of 2012. So literally 2 years after graduating from grad school as a doctor, I opened my own business, which is pretty darn quick, considering, but it's because I wasn't meant to work for other people and do things their way. I'm meant to take my talents and run with it and do things my way. And so over the course of trying to follow my passions, and right now with kind of revamping what it is that I do, and a lot of you guys, again, I know I digress, have asked me about distance healing sessions, distance somatic trauma release sessions. I hear you. I just need to kind of figure out for me how that would work with what I do, because I am so physical and I'm so hands-on, that I love the idea behind it. I just need to figure out how to fully allow needs to flow without me doing it with my hands on you. But I hear you. I see you. I acknowledge your requests. And I promise you, I am thinking, and maybe that's me. Maybe I just need to dive in and do it, right? You know, just like try it, and then it'll be like, oh, you could have been doing this all along. But I'll get there, I promise. So in the meantime, you know, my biggest passion is still doing the body work, but also coming on here and helping you guys with what you ask me for in these videos. And the biggest one that overtook the somatic trauma release was helping y'all out with financial resources, like I promised, because so many of you want to leave your soul-sucking jobs and you just don't have any clue how to do it. You're afraid you won't be able to pay rent. You're afraid you won't be able to pay your power bill. You're afraid you won't be able to pay your internet, your water, have food on the table. I get it. I get it. If you want to talk to somebody who has had to suck up her ego and be like, I'm a doctor who is on WIC and food stamps and has access and had to ask for rental assistance and utility assistance and meal trains and all the things. Yeah, that's me. So about that, let's start with some of the basics. Yes, some of these do require you to have a certain level of income. So what that looks like is if y'all are making a certain amount and you're working that soul-sucking job, you know, 40, 50, 60, 80 hours a week and still not making ends meet, it's not working for you, right? So when you leave it, though, you do need to be able to provide proof of lack of income. So meaning, when you apply, they ask you for certain things. But if you are jobless, then you'd have that proof. So I don't know if then you'd need to be, I don't know. I know, but you can, it's all in there with whatever it is. So for me, I would say the top ones that I recommend are, yes, if you would like insurance. Y'all know how I feel about insurance, but have I used it like one time for blood work when I was pregnant? Yeah. Have I used it beyond that? I'm pretty sure that's the only time I think I used it one other time when I went to the doctors. I went to whoever was my primary doctor in order to get a prescription for a breast pump under access. That was a joke. I never did get it. But did I end up getting the breast pump? Yes. And I will tell you how in just a minute, because I don't want to digress too much from the order of my thoughts. And so, you know, there is, so it's Medicaid. So I live in Arizona. It's Access, Arizona Healthcare Cost Containment System. For those of you in other states, it's whatever your local Medicaid is called. There's Medicare, which is, you know, for when you're beyond a certain age, and then there is Medicaid, and that is for health insurance based on financial necessity. And along with that is food stamps. Yes, that is right. If you are worried about having food on the table, you don't need to worry, because you can apply for that. So I hate doing admin work. I hate applying for stuff like this. When it came to it, I needed to apply like for me and my kid application, they like make you keep going through it, and then you like circle back around and you're like, I already filled all this out, but they make you do it again and like again and again, and I swear they make you do it in order to make you be like, I give up and walk away. And so I asked my mom if she would help me with the applying, because she was in admin type jobs her entire life, and she loves doing that stuff. It brings her joy. So great, cool, yes, please. So she sat next to me, and I went up to their house, my parents' house, about an hour away in Peoria, brought my laptop, and we sat there, and I think the kids, you know, they were playing or watching TV, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, I don't know. And we went through the application, and if it were not for my mom, I would have given up a gazillion times over. Because I'd be like, Mom, we already did this. I already said this. Why is it asking me for this again? She's like, I know. Just do it. Just answer it. And then I like filled it out incorrectly because I filled it out honestly. And it asks you like, is there another parent? And I filled it out honestly because yes, my ex like shared custody. Apparently I was supposed to say no, because then it asked me about applying for his benefits, and I was like, I'm so confused. But by then it was like already in the system, and I tried deleting it and I couldn't, and it did finally get deleted, but at the same time I think sometimes it's still there and it's just really confusing, and I'm like, okay. And I guess when he applied for it, he must have said no, that there was not another parent in the picture, because he didn't have the same issues, which, go figure. And so I applied for food stamps. So that has helped immensely with me to be able to not have to work, you know, super duper hard to like the extra to put money on the table while I'm pursuing my new career, my new love, my new passion. You know, until things really take off with this, there's not a lot of money in, you know, talking to you guys, and I love you, but you know, like, it doesn't immediately make that money. So and it was a huge hit to the ego. I did not do it for the longest time, and I was struggling so bad that I finally was like, screw it, I'm gonna ask my mom, we'll do it, okay. And now it's like no big deal. Did it take me time to get over that? Oh yeah. Now is it like any big deal at all when I'm like, oh yeah, I'm on food stamps? Like, oh yeah, you know, like there's that food stamps option, like it's great. Yeah, now no shame in it. But when I first was applying, I mean, I was so stubborn. I did not do it for the longest time. I could have been receiving it for a lot longer. And then for women, infants, and children, there is something called WIC, W-I-C. So men, sorry, but unless you are a provider for an infant or a child, then you could qualify. So it does not qualify for school-aged children who qualify for public lunch, even though my daughter's school doesn't even have public lunch because they're charter school. She does not fall on there, but myself, my son, who was 3, I think, at the time that I applied, maybe 2.5, 3, he was included, and I am included, and now my baby is included. So there's that. And then for those of you that are so worried about your rent, your mortgage, there are options for that as well. So yes, you might need to do a little bit of searching or asking. And this is the one that us empaths struggle with the most, is asking for help. Oh my goodness, it is so hard, right? Because we always want to be helping others. But like Anita Morjani says, if we're not allowing abundance to flow through us in whatever form it looks like, government benefits, yes. If we're not allowing that abundance to flow through us, we can't help others. If we are just struggling to get by, we're not any good to anybody else. We can't even like remotely, we can't put on our own oxygen mask, let alone like the person next to us. Like we're just like flailing about. What I would suggest is if you have Facebook, then you're going to go here. If you don't have Facebook, you're going to go get Facebook in order to utilize this resource. Just to utilize this resource, if anything. It is called a Buy Nothing group on Facebook. BUY Nothing. It you would need to join the one that is in your local area. So meaning the one that is in your neighborhood or is close to your neighborhood as possible. So I am in one that is called Dobson Ranch. It is a homeowner association community. However, I do not live in the actual homeowner part of the HOA part. I live in the neighborhood that is close by, that falls within the main streets of that specific Buy Nothing group. And the one that I'm in specifically states that you may not belong to another Buy Nothing group. That is because they want to try to keep their, their goodies in their little neighborhood. Cool. So like I can't go to like Buy Nothing Chandler and join that one, or Buy Nothing Tempe or whatever. I think Chandler is the only one that's open to anywhere. Like, and I'm technically in Mesa, but I don't fall within like the main crossroads of it. So this group is amazing. It is literally just a group filled full of people waiting to help, to give away, it's just great. It's filled full of people like us who like to help. And you help when you can, you don't when you don't, you give when you can, you ask for what you need, and it's fantastic. So, I mean, you can do actual goods. You can do asking for knowledge. So that's what I did, is I went on there and I said, so this was when I had found utility assistance, which I'll still get to, but I had found myself in a month where I could not pay my rent at all. And I was like, well, crap. And that was before I started leaving these videos. Because the universe was screaming at me, like, until you start doing this, you are going to live in fight or flight, and you're going to barely, like, you're going to live in survival. You're barely going to, make ends meet. And, so start leaving these dang videos. And so I did, and, then money that I had sitting there waiting to come in started coming in. And you know, touche universe, touche. You got jokes as always. And but anyways, I went on to that group, the Buy Nothing group, and I said in search of you know, information on rental assistance. And there were a lot of suggestions. I mean, a ton. And it was really, really neat and nice, because so many people that were like, oh, this is who, you know, my sister used last month when she was in a similar spot. This is who me and my husband used, you know, for a couple months when we were in a similar situation. Everybody was just like, they totally got it. They totally understood. There was no shame in what I was experiencing. It's temporary, you know, and so even a couple people were like, well, you know, would you be willing to accept help from neighbors? Oh my goodness, like, yes, if this does not pan out, thank you, what a beautiful suggestion. You know, I'll let you know. And so for me, what ended up working was I received assistance from a local church, a church that I don't even belong to, because my church is nature. I have belonged to plenty of churches over the years, you know, on and off, as I've felt called, and then ultimately there's always just something that doesn't feel quite right, and I don't end up continuing. But you know, I've done it on and off, and it's been amazing. Like I said, that the divorce care group that I was in a church, and that church was amazing. They helped me out with Christmas gifts for my kiddos when I was in a really financially tough spot after the divorce. They even the divorce care, the group leader, so sweet. She was like, you know, you need to go do something for yourself, and this is when I had the kids full time, and she took my kiddos and watched them for me twice, I think. One time, maybe 2 or 3 times. One time was for work. One time was my kiddos got to do a sleepover, and that was awesome, because I had not had a night without them. Like I said, I had them full time for a year at that point. So what else? Like I said, they were great. They did like a toy drive thing for families in need, and holy cow, I mean, I'm not one to give that many gifts on Christmas. That was probably the most gifts on Christmas that my kids have ever received, including like these really cool race car, remote controlled race car things, toys for my son who loves dinosaurs, that just were things that I could never have imagined, including one of his favorite books, which you push the dinosaur and it says, like, it makes the noise that it made, and then it's like it says its name, it's like Pachycephalosaurus, and then it like does the noise, and oh my goodness, just so sweet. So there's those options. A lot of times at schools there are options, so they help me out during Christmas. I think it was Thanksgiving and Christmas one year, with providing a bag of food, to have food to put on the table for Thanksgiving, including a big old turkey twice, you know, one for Thanksgiving and one for Christmas. And then also helping me out, that was another year with some gifts for the kids. Again, when I had a little bit of money, but not a lot, and my daughter had just started gymnastics, and they need to wear, she was doing gymnastics, but the new place that she went required like actual leotards, and I didn't have any. And so they asked, like, what are you in need of? And they were able to supply my daughter with like 3 full gymnastics outfits, hand-me-downs in amazing condition. My daughter was so excited. Now she wears them because she no longer likes gymnastics. She wears them as swimsuits. It's great. And same, then like some more things for my son, and there are food banks, and there's resources all over. Again, this is a great place to ask, is in that Buy Nothing group. People know, people will be able to help give you the answer. Other people have been through it locally. They want to help in this group, and it's great because they know, because they've utilized the resources themselves or their family has. There are places that have produce boxes for like a crap ton of food for like $10, because it's stuff that was going to be junked because it doesn't look quite right, or there's a little spot, or for whatever reason it's not perfect, that they rescue this produce for really, really reasonable. Even I think it was WIC gave me like a little coupon booklet. I think you can get it once a year and use it at the farmers markets, which is really, really neat. So I said churches, food banks. I cannot stress enough this Buy Nothing group. So that was, I ended up getting assistance for 1 month from a church. I didn't even belong to it. They didn't even ask. No questions. Just, what do you need? They came and did a home visit, and when they came and did the home visit, they brought me grocery gift cards and a food box. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't even ask for this, and wow, thank you. And I think it had in there like chocolate Teddy Grahams, which my daughter was so excited because she loves them, and like my mom couldn't find them in grocery stores anymore, and I don't even know if I looked, but so that just happened to be in there, and she was ridiculously excited. And so then I had already done a little bit of my own research and found utility assistance, and so I applied for that, and it was really cool because I thought it was just going to be for 1 month. I was approved. I applied for both my power and my water bill. I was approved for both. I thought it was just going to be for 1 month. You submit your bill. Okay, here you go. Here's the assistance. It came through the next month again. I was like, holy amazing. Like, this is like, it just takes so much stress off. Like, it just, here you go. And for my power company, I was able to call, and basically all you have to do is, if you like are already on, I believe it's food stamps. It could be Access or food stamps, or maybe it's food stamps or WIC. I am not sure, but if you are already on it, maybe it's food stamps or WIC. If you already are on that, they are able to put you on what's called an economy plan, and I think it takes off like, it's not a ton, but I think it's like $10 a month, or 10, 15, something, like a little extra off of your bill, just because you already qualified for this other thing. Thank you. And then it reminded me like a year later, you know, that it was coming back up again. And so I had called the water company, the water sewer trash, to see if they had something like that. They did not. But they said, you know, go online and look for utility assistance, and that's what I did. And, yep, found something local for my city. And then I think other people had probably referred me back to that as well. I did give up internet for a couple of years because I had been a customer of the company for so long, since 2007, and I think I gave it up in like 2020, 2021, that my bill had gotten up to like $100 a month, and I was like, I can't afford this right now, so I gave it up at the time. And it was like 110, and so I, you know, now have 2 kids who want to watch, who my daughter asked for a laptop for Christmas, and so there is a program through a lot of the major, so there's a main program called Advanced Connectivity Program, ACP, and that's just what it is here. It's a governmental assistance program, and then if you qualify, I think that one takes off like $30 off of your plan, or there's a really cool one that if you have children, K through 12, that again, if you qualify, and if you qualify for like food stamps, you qualify for everything, just so you know, that then it just save the sheet that says you're approved and from what date to what date, because that needs to be submitted to a lot of these. Some of them they don't even ask, they just say, okay, you're approved. And so the other program that I ended up qualifying for was called Connect to Compete. So this was through Cox, who is like a major provider in this area, and it's $10 a month, and then you can apply the ACP from there, so then you can get free internet. And they also offer a device, like a laptop or something like that. I did not end up doing that one because I had already gotten my daughter a laptop for Christmas, and it was supposed to be for people who didn't have a laptop, and I technically still have one. You know, I do still have one that works okay for me right now. So I don't need to upgrade. I don't need, you know, I do have a laptop that works. My daughter did have a laptop that worked. So I did not need one, but they did have like the option for that as well. And then my friend created a meal train for me. So she has done this now for me a couple of times. Once when I was going through my NDE, and we submitted it, like we sent it out. She sent it out in our mom's group. I think she, you know, said something to the school, and then that's what the school ended up helping me out with food, and gifts at Christmas, and so, you know, it can be sent out like among your school community, your work community, whatever else, you know, and this Facebook group, this Buy Nothing group, and I had a lot of people. So she did it once for me during my NDE, and then once for me after delivering my daughter, my most recent daughter, Lily, whose dad is not in the picture. And, you know, so, and like not having support, you know, that stays with me and helps me out and stuff like that. So the meal train, my parents did, and my mom did make me some frozen meals, which I am super grateful for. But they came to visit, you know, for 4 hours the day after Lily was born, and I was like, okay, bye. And I'm like, Nellie, no. But again, they've given me so much help over the years. So the meal train option, that you can post in that Buy Nothing group as well. You know, you could share on your own social media if you have it. I think I did that and didn't get very many hits because, you know, I wasn't attracting. I didn't really have friends. I did, like, you know, there was like a handful of ones that, like, you know, close ones that did help me out a lot, like my friend who made the meal train for me, who was in a position to be able to do so and help me out with carpool and with my kids, and that one was offered to me without me even thinking about it or asking. But you know, now you know, so if you do have children or even your own car, maybe you can join a carpool to save on money for gas and just, you know, your own exhaustion. And then, let's see, I feel like I've touched on just about everything, but I also feel like I'm forgetting something and I can't. You know, there's other groups to belong to where if it's something similar, so like for me, I'm in one that's like Phoenix Crunchy Moms of Arizona, and another one that was HA Mamas Ha Mamas that I had been in before when I was doing more mommy and me yoga, and then another one who is this Magical Mamas. She is Jennifer Hobridge, is amazing. She's created this like wonderful supportive community, this Facebook page, you know, and all of these are different private ones that you can request to belong to, something that fits you and you know, like a little community of sorts. So even if I don't really know most of the people in there, we're all moms and we're all magical moms, and so then it's a little community where people can post things. And so my friend who made the meal train posted my meal train in there to help give me some more support. And it's just, you know, like people will do GoFundMes. I have not done that one personally, but you know, I do have a friend that has one that I contributed to. So like I was doing country swing for a long time, and so that's another community where this stuff could be posted and shared. But it's funny because I was in the community and I didn't even think to post my meal train there. Again, you know, that's part of being an empath. A lot of times we just don't even, it doesn't dawn on us where to ask for help because we are always the ones giving and helping. So hopefully this video has sparked some excitement for you to be okay with starting to pursue your passion, and, you know, giving you some grace financially, some assistance, some grace financially in the meantime. And just know that asking for help is actually really completely and totally normal, and people do it all the time. People go into the group and say, you know, like, hey, I'm low on diapers and, you know, can anybody help me out? And this is the size my baby's in. And people are like, yeah. I got to another really low place, and I was actually on track to make rent, but ran out of dog food. And, you know, I can give him other stuff, right, which might upset his tummy. He gets scraps anyways, you know, from the children. Whatever's left over in their lunch that they don't eat goes to him on the weeks that I have them. But, you know, if your dog's not used to and you don't want to feed them like a ton of people food, which could upset their tummy, you know, I went on there and I said that I ran out of dog food, and somebody actually ordered me, you know, they said, what kind of dog food do you use? And they ordered me a couple small bags from Amazon. And I mean, that stuff will last me forever because my pup is a slow eater with the dry dog food. I think because he knows the good stuff's coming, so he waits for the good stuff. But no, he's just not a big eater in general. He's a grazer. My other dog, the other ones that I've had, oh no, if you put food in front of them, they would inhale it and it would be gone. Like, so I couldn't just leave a bowl of food down, and Sato, I leave it down and he just kind of, you know, grazes on it. So again, the point being, it's okay. And other people were like, you know, hey, I'm struggling too, but I could give you a couple cups. Would that help? And I'm like, yes, thank you. Like a couple cups of dog food. It is just, it's fantastic. Other people that are like, you know, I'm super happy I can help because I was in a similar situation and now I get to help. And then, the last one, I had reached out to my son's school asking for scholarship opportunities because he is in a private Montessori program. And the teachers responded with the most amazing, like, I could never have even asked for. And they, again, the one of the owners was like, I've been in a similar situation, and it took people rallying around me to help me get back on my feet. And, you know, it's temporary, and we would love to help you out with 2 months of like your son's tuition. We love him, we love you, we love your family, we want to support you, and then just check back in with us at that time and let us know where you're at. Oh man, that one made me cry so much. That one was just so sweet, so unconditional. It wasn't even something that had crossed my mind. I was asking for scholarship, you know, like, and there were not any scholarship opportunities at that time. But they went like above and beyond, and the compassion and the empathy, you know, because they had been through something similar, was just, it blew my mind. And that was like unconditional love, like not expecting anything in return. A lot of, you know, all this like is now unconditional, and that is probably the hardest type, again, to receive, especially when you're an empath, because you're so used to like, what do I have to do for you? So when there's not, you're just like, wait, what? So yeah, hopefully this really sparked some hope for you guys, that there are resources out there. There are. And I promise you it's okay to ask for help. And is it going to be uncomfortable? Probably for a lot of you, but you can do it. And the more you do it, it just feels wonderful to receive. And that's the thing, is like, we're empaths and we love to give. It feels so good to give, right? There's other people out there that love to give as well. So hopefully this helps you be able to follow your passion without stressing so much about finances. And then I promise you that somatic trauma release video is coming. I love you.